ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಶುಭ ಮುಂಜಾನೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ನಾಳೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋಣ. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನೈಟ್. ಅದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್. ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟೀಚರ್ ನಾವೊಂದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಸ್ನ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಗುಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈನರ್ಸ್ ಟುಡೇ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ಇದೊಂದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನ್ ಅದರ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಸ್, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೂಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೂಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ನ ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ 1 year ಇರೋಷ್ಟು 2 year ಕೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ 3 months ಇಲ್ಲ 6 months ಕೋರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಈಗ ವೆನೆವರ್ ವಿ ಸೇ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆರ್ ವೆನೆವರ್ ವಿ ಸೇ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಚಾಯ್ವಾಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವ್ನ ಸಾಯಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಈ ಗ್ರೋಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಒಬ್ಬರು ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ವುಮೆನ್ನು ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಡಲ್ಲೇ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲೇ ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ ಒಂದು ವಾತಾವರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ನಮಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಗ್ರೋಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಎ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಾಯ್, ಓಕೆ, ಅಬ್ರಾಹಂ ಲಿಂಕನ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವ್ನು ನೋಡ್ದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ಸ್ನ ಯಾರು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಬ್ರಾಹಂ ಲಿಂಕನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಆಗಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಾಯ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ನು ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ವಾಲಾ ಬಾಯ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಲಿ ಈ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಏಜಲ್ಲೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ರೂಢಿಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿನ ಅವ್ರು ತಂದಿದ್ದು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸು ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ತಂದ್ರು, ದೇ ವರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ಎನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಸ್ machines which will develop what is called as clerks. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅವರು ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಆಚೆ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್? ಎ ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಒಬೀಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಫಾಲೋವರ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್ ಒಬೀಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಲಿಸನರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಏನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೇನೆ ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಾಲೆಜು ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓವರ್ ಎ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ 150 years ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೇನೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫರ್ಗಾಟನ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡವರು, ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಾಣರು, ನಾವೆಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈಗಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಭಾರತ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಭಾರತದ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ನೆವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ನೆಸ್. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಲಿ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ, ಟುಡೇ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಂಜಾಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್. ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಜಾಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್. ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 main digits ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು 1, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 0 ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಆ 0 ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಯಭಟ್ಟ. ಭಾರತದಿಂದ ಹೋದಂತ ಆ 0 ಇವತ್ತು ಪ್ರಪಂಚ, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ಇವತ್ತು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇ ಎಷ್ಟು ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಅದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ 0 ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಅಸ್. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಲಿ ಯೋಗ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ವೇದಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈವನ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಬೈಬಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ಲಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಈಗ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಲಿ ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಏನು ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇಫ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ರನ್ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಮೊದಲು ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ. ನಾನು ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಸ್ಮೋಕಿಂಗ್. ನಾನು ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. ನಾನು ಹೆಲ್ತ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ದ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Modi cannot say others to work 18 hours if he himself is not working for 20 hours. So leadership qualities ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವಾಕ್ ದ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೀನೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ರೂಢಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ. See, most of the time ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, when I say with or without authority ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಒಬ್ರು ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಂದಾಗ I have been given and I have been gifted what is called as an authority. As a father of the family, that means ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ I have an authority, I can always influence them. But leadership skill is without having this authority can you actually influence people. ಅದನ್ನ leadership qualities ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ we will start see. Let me share a beautiful story. See, ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ whenever we talk about each other, we always have a hidden desire that we want to be a leader. We want to have recognition. We want to be a leader. We want people to follow us. We want people to listen to us. So, ಈ ಒಂದು craving ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. But ಅದನ್ನ fulfill ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ are you ready to take up unconditional responsibility? We won't be ready. Let me share a beautiful story. It is a true story. I would be changing it according to the requirement because I need to influence you. I still remember that there was one of my friend who did engineering with me only. Together we completed engineering. Afterwards he shifted to Pune because he got a job in Pune. All of us are good people. But my friend is excellent personality. Why I call him as an excellent personality? He never thinks twice when there is a requirement of an help to be given to somebody. ಯಾರಿಗಾನ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎರಡು ಸತಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆತ ಇರ್ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅನ್ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್. ಸೊ ಅವನು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಪುಣೆಯಿಂದ ಬಾಂಬೆಗೆ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು 4-5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಪಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಕಾರ್, ಕಮ್ ಟು ಬಾಂಬೆ, ವರ್ಕ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಡೇ, ಲೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೈಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ರೂಟೀನ್. One day as he is driving the car, all of a sudden, because early in the morning ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, all of a sudden he sees a car bangs into a mediator, it jumps and hits into a big tree there. ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಹೋಗೋರು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ದ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಕ್, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಒಬ್ರು ಪ್ಯಾಸೆಂಜರ್ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಬಾಕ್ಲು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್. He was observing as he was driving and trying to go very close by. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ he had already decided, come what may, I'm going to help. But there were a lot of people who wanted to help. They tried opening the door did not open, they gave up. Few of them came, they took selfies and they left. And this man went in, he tried to open the door did not come. So he waited, he asked others to come and help. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಬಂದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆದರು. Don't get into all these complications, the police will unnecessarily torture you. He told, come what may, I have decided, I'm going to help. It is unconditional. So he waits for one of them to say yes. None of them is ready to say yes to him. There was one you can call him as a vegetable seller who was coming in his cart. He stops him and he gives him 500 rupees and he says, please help me at least to open the door and put the passenger into the car. I will not disturb you. He also told the same thing, साहब जी मैं गरीब आदमी हूँ, unnecessary police में झंझट में नहीं पड़ना, I don't want to get into this police cycle, so please see to it that you are not going to bring me in between, I will definitely help. So he took the 500 rupees, he came with a chisel, They broke open the door and the driver was completely bleeding. They brought him, they put him into the back seat, and the passenger was also completely bleeding. They took him and they also put him into the back seat, and he started driving. As he was driving, it was just 3 kilometers. There was a very big hospital. As soon as he entered the hospital, there was an emergency unit which took both of them and they took him into an operation theatre. He was waiting there. He was very, very tired because he had to break open the door. Because of the tiredness, he dozed off. And the doctor was inside. He did all whatever was necessary, and all of a sudden when the doctor came out, he asked, who brought these two people here? Somebody showed he's the person who brought, one of the nurse showed. He came up to him and my friend was completely dozed off. He just tapped him and he asked, sir, thank you very much. You saved 2 lives. If you would have been even 5 minutes late, both of them we would have lost. Thank you once again, the doctor said. Are they your relatives? No, I don't know who they are. And then, okay, they are fine now. We'll be shifting them to ICU. Afterwards, you can see. And in that tiredness, after the doctor spoke to him, he came, he was sitting, he was waiting for the patients to be shifted to ICU because he wanted to go there and say hi to them. And because he was very tired, he again dozed off because he had to go to office. He thought once I will say hi and then immediately rush to the office. In that situation, all of a sudden, somebody tapped him. When he opens his eyes, there are media people all over. Everybody is clicking his photo. Everybody has brought the mic in front of him and they wanted to know what is his name, how did he save these 2 people. Because the man who had injured was the #1 businessman of Bombay city, and he was helped, rescued, and his life was saved by my friend. And next day he was there in all the newspapers. He was there in all the media, and he became an overnight hero. He became an overnight leader. Most of us, when after we came to know about this, those who saw the accident just took the selfie and then passed away. Right now they are cribbing, ayo nanu help madidre chenagirodeno anbittu, but you will never get this opportunity again. So when we say what is that leadership quality is, leadership quality is if I am ready to take up unconditional responsibility. When you are ready to take up that unconditional responsibility, only then you can become a leader. Otherwise you cannot become a leader. When we say Uri, surgical strike, it was not an easy decision. Because why? I should be ready if something negative happens also. Here was a leader who told, come what may, if something negative happens, I shall take the responsibility, go ahead. That is leadership skills. That is Narendra Modi. To actually demonetize, it requires a dil. Because demonetization is a very serious cleansing activity by which there will be a lot of people who will be troubled. Definitely they will be troubled. But knowing that in the projectivity of goodness for maximum, if little of them need to suffer, such decisions have to be taken. When I say surgical strike, was it not actually dangerous for the people who went there as army? Yes, it was very, very dangerous. But for the cause of a larger good, these need to be sacrificed. That is what we call it as a leadership skills. So it required a lot of guts for this Prime Minister to say demonetization shall be done. Most of the time it was easy to say that we will build up mandir, we will build up mandir, we will build up mandir. To take up a serious cause and actually to start building up the mandir, you require that leadership skills. That is what Modi was ready to do. That is what most of the leaders are ready to do. That means they are going to take up unconditional responsibility. When we talk about you and me, we take a lot of responsibilities. There is no doubt at all. We take a lot of responsibilities. But when we take responsibilities, we take unconditional responsibilities when it is only related to our own family. You will not take unconditional responsibility when it is outside the family circle. As a father, section 144. My only daughter is actually 100-degree fever. My wife says, what shall we do? I say, nothing doing. I'll take her to the hospital. There is section 144. I damn care about section 144. My daughter is not keeping well. I'm going to take her to the hospital. I take my daughter and I take my wife. wife and daughter are on the back seat. I start my car, I start moving. The army man will stop. Shoot me, sir, I don't mind, but I don't want my daughter to die, or allow me to go. That is called as unconditional responsibility. When it is only your family, then what you do, you are ready to take up unconditional responsibility. Sometimes you are not ready to take up unconditional responsibility for yourself. You are ready to take unconditional responsibility for your child. All of you, assuming your daughter who has actually listened to one of my class, I tell how important it is for students to take care of their parents. I am looking at that perspective. I actually influence them and I tell them it is very important that you take care of your parents. Ask them to exercise right from tomorrow. Ask them to perform yoga at least for 20 minutes right from tomorrow. These are my wordings. I say these wordings and I send. The same daughter comes to you and says, Papa, what? Papa, from tomorrow you will have to get up at 5 o'clock. I'll put up an alarm. After you get up at 5 o'clock, you cleanse yourself and then you are going to do yoga with me. Okay, he says, because it is night. But are you ready to take up unconditional responsibility? That will only be decided when the morning comes. Early in the morning, you are actually in a deep sleep. Your daughter comes, Papa. And your daughter is calling you. Say, what is it, ma? I told you will have to get up at 5 o'clock and do yoga. No, you go and study, ma, for me. I am exercising in the school. In our ITI only, I regularly exercise. And you sleep. You are not ready to take up unconditional responsibility there. But instead, your daughter will say next day, Papa, what? I have an interview early in the morning at 6 o'clock, Papa. So I'll have to leave my house at least by 5 o'clock. And you go to Mama also, Mama, tomorrow I'll have to leave at 5 o'clock. Both father and mother who did not wake up to do the yoga and the walking or the jogging early in the morning, next day when the daughter goes and says, tomorrow there is an interview in my college, I'll have to be there by 5 o'clock, please wake me up by 4:30 so that I take bath and get ready by 5, we will leave the home by 5 so that I will reach the college by 6, I should be the first person in the queue so that I will get the job 100% sure. All this is decided. As a daughter, you need not worry, you go for a deep sleep. Your mom will get up at 3 o'clock. She will prepare all the breakfast. Your father will get up at 4 o'clock. He will keep everything ready and then the father will come to your daughter and say, hey, Magle, adeno, job hogbeku antidalla. Then, illa papa, I wanted you to do yoga. But can you really take unconditional responsibility there? What nonsense is this? You go and sleep. So, a leadership quality when we actually defined earlier, if you can recollect the leadership quality, it is an ability to influence self. When you cannot influence self, you will definitely will not be having any authority to influence others. First it is self-development and then it will become everybody else development. Simple basic leadership skills. I knew today is the seminar. Irrespective of, in spite of whatever the reason, I should not be late. It has to be one of the leadership quality. So I make it a point, I come at least 1 hour in advance. Today was a class. The time was already told to you. Few of you made it by 9 o'clock. That means you have a leadership skills in you. Why? You were ready to take up unconditional responsibility. If the same situation, somebody would have called yesterday night and they would have told you, tomorrow the class is at 9:30, please make it a point you come by 9. They keep the phone. You receive it with a positive note only, but early in the morning when you will have to get up, you just make a small change in the plans and say, anyway I'll have to go to the class. Let me go at 10:30. But on the previous night, I give you a call and say, tomorrow the operation starts for my friend at 6 o'clock. I want you to be here by 4:30 and I keep the phone. There, you take an unconditional responsibility. Come what may, maybe you will not sleep the whole night. You will get up midnight at 12 o'clock only. Plan yourself and you come. So ask yourself, why are you becoming different in different situations? If you are going to be different in different situations, then you cannot qualify to become a leader at all. One of the greatest quality of a leader is, am I ready to take up unconditional responsibility of personal growth and also others' growth? That is very, very important. So, when we become a leader, you are always looked up to. Always remember, Whether you want or you don't want, you have already occupied the dais or a pedestal of a leader. As a teacher, students will always look up to you. Once Amma Appa will come out of your mouth, the entire attitude of yours, personality of yours will get punctured. So it is a greatest responsibility as a teacher to consistently maintain that positive personality, because they are not treating you as teacher, they are teaching you actually as God. Remember, students need to pray, but you also need to utter these words again and again every time you pray, to tell yourself that I am no ordinary man, I am a teacher. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I have right now occupied the dais much more bigger and larger than mom, than dad, than God himself. So once I occupy this, leaders will always be looked up to. And they will be consistently watched. Your everyday move will be watched. And that is how you are going to be defined by the students. Ramesh sir is never going to be late. Lata madam definitely half an hour late. Pushpa ma'am, war 3 dina raja is guaranteed. Because your leadership qualities is this. Who exhibited it? You only. The qualities what you exhibit becomes your leadership qualities. So what you exhibit consistently is going to tell you whether you are a good leader or a bad leader. I don't say Duryodhana was a bad leader. Duryodhana was also a good leader. But his direction of leadership was different. That's all. When we talk about Duryodhana, I should say his conviction towards whatever he wanted was very big. So only we still admire him as one of the greatest warrior. It was in the first initial days, because as a teacher you also should know, when all these prince they get into the Gurukul, Dronacharya says first 2 weeks it is going to be a free week. You can do whatever you want. I will not stop you. You can sleep whatever time you want. You can get up whatever time you want. You can eat whatever you want. You can sleep whenever you want. I am not going to ask you anything. But after this week, everything is going to go as per my rules. Is that okay? Everybody were happy. Everybody started freaking out, playing, breaking things. Dronacharya was observing. As Dronacharya was observing, he found out 2 very strong personalities. He did not know them by name also. One strong personality was looking at everything that was there in Gurukul in an intention to how I could master it. What exactly is this? What is this bow? What is this arrow? Everything was being observed with an intention that when will I get an opportunity to use it? And one man was there who was also determined, trying to build up a strong leadership skills, trying to motivate his subordinates of 100 brothers, and this one was one more personality. But somehow that 1 week of free time was over. After this 1 week of free time was over, Dronacharya calls everybody into an open seminar hall, and he stands in front of them, and then he makes an announcement. I've been observing all of you from past 1 week, and it was a free day, so I did not actually trouble you. I did not actually tell anything, but my observation was this. And he calls, who is that guy? And he calls him, come here. He comes and he says, what is your name? He says, my name is Arjuna. I just want to promise this boy is going to become the best archer of the world. He declares. This man, as a Dronacharya, as a teacher, he has never given any class to him. He declares him as one of the best archer he is going to become. It's a declaration. As soon as he declares that, one Duryodhana will stand from there and says, sir, yes, you have already started taking on the sides of Kauravas. What is this? Kauravas. I really don't know. Then what is he? He is Pandavas. You, I am Kauravas. I really don't know. All of you look alike for me. When the students, when they enroll as a newly, when you see them, everybody look alike. You will never be able to differentiate who is who. Only after few days you will start identifying depending on their personality, depending on their leadership qualities. And then he says, you will not understand. You come tomorrow and you will automatically understand without me trying to answer. Okay, Guruji, what time I should come? He makes an announcement to the class. Tomorrow early in the morning at 4 o'clock your class shall start. I want all of you to assemble at 4 o'clock in the open grounds. And Dronacharya walks there by 3:30. As soon as he walks there, he will find two people. He definitely knew Arjuna will come, and Dronacharya definitely knew Duryodhana also will come. He goes up to Arjuna and says, Arjuna, you are already awake. Guruji, I couldn't sleep the whole day. I was actually curious when I will get this opportunity to attend the first archery class, which is today. And he goes up to Duryodhana. Duryodhana, what happened? Guruji, I couldn't get the sleep. I'm still confused. Even before the class could start, how could you actually declare that Arjuna is going to become the best archer? Don't worry, you will get the answer. By 4:15 and 4:30, slowly everybody starts coming. The time was given was 4. For you, the time was given was 9. Most of you came by 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, 10. Pandavas and Kauravas keep coming. Exhibition of leadership quality is, can I take everything as seriously as it should be taken? Always remember, God throws small responsibilities, and if you take up that small responsibilities very, very seriously, automatically God will prepare for a bigger responsibility. If God himself can think of this, even people who are watching you also will be observing you. When a small responsibility is given, if you can execute it beautifully, automatically a bigger responsibility will be executed much more better than that. Given a chance of becoming what is called as a chief minister of Gujarat, if a man can actually do so many good to the state, automatically everybody's view will be, if this yogi or if this Modi is given an opportunity to become actually a leader of the entire India, I think enough good is going to happen. So the leadership skills is the one which starts growing you. The more you exhibit these leadership skills, you will start growing the path of the managerial path. You will never be an entry-level worker. You will immediately jump over to become a principal. Law of life is like this. So now everybody is assembled. Now Dronacharya takes up a class. He explains about archery, he explains about bow, he explains about arrow, and then he tells, this is how you will have to focus and aim at the target. He shows him a very big mango tree, and in one of the branch of a mango tree, a wooden parrot is placed. The wooden parrot has an eyes which has a white spot. Inside that white spot there is a black round. So he is instructing every student to focus at the black spot, and everybody is focusing. Dronacharya comes to the first person and he asks, what is that you are able to see? He says, Guruji, I am able to see the bird. He says, you are not very close to the target. He comes to the next. What is that you are able to see? Guruji, I am able to see the eyes. You are not on the target. He comes to the next. It is Duryodhana. Guruji, he asks, what is that you are able to see? The Duryodhana says, Guruji, I am not able to see anything. I am just seeing a question mark. How is that you declared Arjuna one of the best archer even before starting the class? You come with me, you will get an answer, because Arjuna is at the last. Next he comes to Bhima. Bhima is watching. He asks, Guruji asks, what is that you are able to see? Guruji, there are so many ripened mangoes. I think it would taste good now, Guruji, he is saying. Because he is Tindikota, his only focus is, what is that I can get over there? And he goes to the next, he goes to the next. None of them were anywhere very close to the target. And here is the last person, Arjuna. Arjuna is completely focused. Guruji says, hey Arjuna, he is not able to hear. His all 5 sensory organs is focused towards the target. He is just aiming at the target. He is not able to listen. He again says, hey Arjuna. He is still not been able to listen to him because he is completely focused. Duryodhana taps him. Hey Arjuna, Guruji is talking to you. Then he looks at Guruji. Yes, Guruji. What is that you are able to say? Give me 1 minute, Guruji. He starts focusing. Guruji, I am able to see the center of the black spot which you have asked me to aim at. That means I am able to see center of the black spot. Guruji had asked him to only aim at the black spot. He goes beyond. When a person has single-minded devotion towards a goal, that is one of the leadership qualities. You should also have that single-minded goal of trying to transform your students into better personalities. It should not be trade alone, because trade alone can teach them technical skills. but only learning the technical skills, they will definitely not be able to actually hit the target, the dream job, the dream salary, the dream company. They need what is called as leadership qualities. So it becomes your moral responsibility to actually give them leadership qualities. So leaders are expected to exhibit these leadership qualities day in, day out. As a father, I will definitely start executing my unconditional responsibility towards my kids. But if I can go beyond that, then I become qualified as a leader. We will start looking at one by one. When we saw an accident, after the accident, most of you are thinking, if next time whenever I see an accident, I will definitely try and help because I want to become famous. That is conditional responsibility. That will not work. Only when you take an unconditional responsibility, it works. So some of the qualities that is required for a leader is, leader should always assume unconditional responsibility. I gave an example of Modi, I gave an example of even my friend who saw an accident right in front of him. He took an unconditional responsibility. Come what may, I am going to help him. It is going to be late for office. Come what may, I am going to help him. The police are going to be behind me. Come what may, I am going to help him. This is called as assuming unconditional responsibility. Next would be, you should always lead by example. See, when I say you should actually walk your talk, what I actually speak should not be just what I speak. It should be that I am following it in my life. Just like I took an example, I don't smoke. It is easy for me to convince my students not to smoke. I don't bunk, I don't be late, I will never be absent, I will always take a leave. It always puts my students also to follow that, because they know if my teacher can follow all this discipline, I can also follow. If you want to qualify to become a leader, you should lead by example. You should always lead by example. And all great leaders, they represent a cause, which I am going to speak about. 1 minute. Now, when we say he has to represent a cause, leaders will not give any options. They give no options. I'll be explaining you. Most of the time what will we say, I will help you, but next time you should also help me. That becomes, you're looking for an option and you're looking for a give and take policy. That will not actually qualify you to become a leader. Today I am going to work till 6 o'clock. Tomorrow can you work till 6 o'clock? No, that is going to be a transactional leadership skills. That is not going to work. And leaders will never give any excuse. Irrespective, in spite of, I know there are a lot of hurdles, I will not give you excuse. Leaders follow passion for excellence. I'll be explaining you. Leaders always try to develop that passion for excellence, trying to make it still more better. I'll be using a lot of examples and I will explain. Leaders follow also in life. It is not important how much you have in life. What is important is what you do with whatever you have in life. See, when we look at our life, what we say, I can execute this job. If you give me this, if you give me this, if you give me 10 people, then again it becomes conditional responsibility. What is called as an unconditional responsibility? I am going to execute my leadership skills with whatever I have. It is not important how much I have in life. What is important is what I do with whatever I have in life. If I take up a simple example, this man, when I looked him from top to bottom, his color was nearly matching the color of a crow. And when I looked at him from top to bottom, nothing would match a quality of an hero. But he never thought that way. He told the world, it is not important how much I have in life. What is important is what I do with whatever I have. And today he is considered to be one of the greatest actor who is being paid highest right now today also in South Asia. I am talking about Rajini sir. When you look at him from top to bottom, nothing qualifies him to become a leader. To become an actor. And when you look at his six-pack, there is no six-pack. He has a complete family pack. But still, he had something which others did not have. That was his style. So whenever you look at life, you will have to teach the students also. It is not important how much you have in life. What is important is what you do with whatever you have. When Tendulkar told that he wanted to become a batsman, even at the age of 10, 11, 12, people could easily make out that Tendulkar will be a short batsman. But as per the rule book, when it comes to playing a one-day match, when it comes to playing a test match, the rule book actually told that to become a good batsman, you need to be tall. If you are short, every ball will go for a bouncer. You will never be able to touch the ball also. And people kept on telling him, you're short, it is not going to work, you're short, it is not going to work, you're short, it's not going to work. But he started telling the world, it is not important how much I have in life. What is important is what I do with whatever I have in life. Right now what I have, this is the height what I have. So the loudest way to tell the world shut up is to say, I'm going to give you results. And Tendulkar stood there and he consistently kept on working. Was it easy? No. When Tendulkar come, people did not throw, oh, our Tendulkar has come. You are going to hit 100 centuries, here is the ball. No, nobody gave him such easy runs. If you go into the history of Tendulkar, when he used to play in the foreign pitches, when he is standing to bat, he is a short man, a short bat with that little pads. When he actually stand there, he looks like one tiny man standing in front of those tall foreign players. And every ball they played, even with the bat he could not reach because the bouncer used to go so fast. And some of the balls used to come body line right at him. The way they targeted him was, whenever Tendulkar used to bat, they never would have any players fielding in the front. Everybody would be at the back. The wicket keeper, right on the right side of the wicket keeper, 4 players. Right on the left side of the wicket keeper, 4 players. Only the bowler used to be there just to target him and tell, oh, short man, you're never going to become a batsman with this height. Tendulkar always told to himself, it is not important what I have in life. What is important is, what will I do with whatever I have in life? I stand and I keep on facing. It hits me, it's okay. I will keep on facing. One such ball comes, he hits for a 4. One more such ball comes, he hits for a 4. One more such ball comes, he hits for a 4. Slowly, the 4 of them became 3. 3 of them became 2. 2 of them became 1. And today when Tendulkar comes, they know he's not going to actually leave the ball to the keeper. It's always going to be front. And now the same fielders have been rephrased to come in the front. Why? He told the loudest way to tell the world shut up is to show results. Like that, there are a lot of examples which we can start giving. And when we talk about all this, we will take one by one and we will start explaining you. See, whenever it comes to leadership qualities, we have 2 kinds of leadership qualities. One is conditional leadership, one more is unconditional, which I have already explained. What I mean by conditional, at home, right now, when I go home as a boy, I see that my father is not keeping well, my mother is not keeping well. I go up to my mother and say, Amma, I think you are not keeping well. Today I will take the responsibility of cooking. Papa, I will take the responsibility of going and getting the vegetable because I have never done. This is something you are actually going, and it is a conditionally you are accepting this responsibility. Why? Because your father is not keeping well, your mother is not keeping well. This is accepted leadership skills. That means because both of them are not keeping well, I take the responsibility of actually going and cooking. I take the responsibility of going and getting the vegetables. Now we will go to the second scenario. I go home today, my father is free, my mother is free. I go up to my father and say, oh Papa, today I want to actually do all the household work. I'll get the vegetables. If you want me to buy fish, I'll go and get the fish. If you want me to buy chicken, I'll go and buy the chicken. And I will also go up to my mom and say, Mom, you're not going to prepare anything today. I will prepare. That is what I say. I accept it. It is not assume. I accept the responsibility and it is unconditional. I'm not expecting anything in return. Right now, for the students, you will have to start giving them these kind of leadership qualities. Opportunities will be thrown. Few people take conditionally, few people accept it, few people assume unconditional responsibility. So you will have to train the students to get into the next level. As a family, As a father, I lead the entire family, but it is actually an accepted responsibility. Why? I am the father. Right now, everybody is sleeping, somebody knocks at the door. As a boy, you can always shout and say, Papa, Mama, you sleep, I'll go and open the door. That means I have assumed a responsibility, and an unconditional responsibility I go and execute. Somebody will have to go out, it is raining, and they should get a medicine, because after some time the medical stores will be closed. Grandmother has to have the medicine, without that she cannot sleep. An opportunity comes. One boy raises and says, Mama, Papa, don't worry, I'll go and get. Umbrella is there, I'll go and get. Even if I get wet, no problem, I'll dry myself. That means I have actually taken up unconditional, I have assumed responsibility. Slowly, when you start taking such responsibility in your family, what happens? When something bigger comes, whom will they pick up? They will pick up this man who always actually accepted unconditional responsibility. Most of us will not assume what is called as our unconditional responsibility, because you are allergic to the word failure. You also, me also. We are allergic to this word failure. Why? Because the moment I execute, I should be successful. If I fail, what will people say? If I fail, what will my colleagues say? If I fail, what will my family think? You are actually allergic to the word failure, so you are never going to take unconditional responsibility. But if you want to be qualified as a leader, you should fail multiple times, because the rule book says behind every success there has to be multiple failures. So what does that mean? You will have to fail multiple times, only then the success is going to be yours. You cannot directly jump and become successful, that is impossible. So a leader is the one who is going to actually volunteer risks and volunteer failures. It's not going to be easy. Let me quote the same example. It was the first 2020 World Cup. When the first 2020 World Cup was announced, India had never had an experience of 2020 matches at all, because India never played 2020 matches. In that particular situation, they were looking for players who will go for the first time and face a very big challenge of World Cup. So what they do, they wanted to have a team of seniors and juniors clubbed together just to see how this new match is going to transform. So what they do, the management will call all the senior players, they will put them into room 1, all the junior players, and they will put them into room 2. I am talking about the greatest leadership qualities. To stand up and say, I take the responsibility unconditionally, irrespective of, in spite of whatever happens. So here what happens, they come to the senior most team and they say, guys, we will have to do two things. One is, we need to select at least 4 senior players, but much before that, we need to select a captain from the senior team. The moment the announcement was made, how many of you would like to become a captain? None of the hands raised. Saurav Ganguly, no. I don't have an experience of 2020. It's a youngsters game. I think I don't want to be a part of it also. Tendulkar, I will be a part of the team, but I don't want to actually be the captain, because I have never done captainship. Tendulkar is a very successful batsman, but Tendulkar failed miserably because he did not have that leadership qualities to become a captain, because for that it requires a different skill sets altogether. You should be ready to handle that pressure. It's not going to be everybody's cup of a tea. And most of the players forget about even being a captain. They actually told they don't want to be a part of this team only. Now, 1 or 2 players only accepted to play. Harbhajan told, I will play, but me captain, highly impossible. But I will play. Yuvraj, I don't want to be a captain, I will definitely play. Why? Because all of them were allergic to the word failure. Why? If they play a match and if they fail, headlines will definitely be written. What? The movie failed miserably, the cricket failed miserably, the what we call it as a Uri, surgical strike failed miserably, the GST failed miserably, the demonetization failed miserably, the lockdown failed miserably, because you should be ready to take challenge and ready to accept failures open-heartedly with a smile in your face. For that you require the greatest leadership quality. None of them was daring enough to do that. So what they did, helplessly they came to the junior team. All juniors were sitting, and one man with long hairs, a dark looking man, was sitting somewhere at the back. And they told, we have already selected the captain. Just to motivate them. We have already selected for 5 to 6, I think 7 players are already been selected. Now we need to select some 3-4 players from the juniors. We are just thinking, if we don't want to consider even senior team to be a part of this, I just want to know, anybody would like to captain this team? The moment even before the question was not completed, a hand raised up, stood up, and he told, I am ready. Apun captain karega. Who told this? MS Dhoni. धोनी कैप्टन करोगे? कैप्टन करूंगा. जीत के आओगे? पक्का जीत के आऊंगा. His words were so clear, the entire management were actually blown off. Why? They come to the senior most team, they ask one by one, do you want to be a captain? Do you want to be a captain? Why don't you take it as a challenge? Why don't you go at least for this time? For the next time we will pick up the captain from the junior team. None of them was daring enough to say, I will. And here, even before the question has not been completed, a man, a boy, an young man, he raises himself and says, Apun captain karega. Then there was no looking back. But he was ready for failure also. It doesn't mean that just because he became a captain, he is going to win all the matches. They lost the first match. When MS Dhoni captainship lost the first match, every headlines of newspapers and every headlines of TV news channels only started speaking about what a selection has been made, a blunder has been made, the seniors are not being considered at all, only the juniors are being brought up, and I think this is going to be the most miserable World Cup India is going to have. Dhoni did not even look at the news also. He told, we will bounce back, Apan bounce back karega. And the second match they won, the third match they won, the fourth match they won, the semi-finals they won, and finals they won. There was no looking back at all. The kind of leadership quality what Dhoni exhibited, there was never a looking back option at all. After he became a 2020, the way he won the World Cup, he was already considered for one-day international captainship. And after he played the one-day international and he was successful there also, there was no looking back. He was also considered for test captainship and there was no looking back. And in 2-3 more years, they formed what is called as a World Cup team. Because of the excellent performance and leadership quality of MS Dhoni, they considered him as captain at least 3 consecutive years. In the World Cup team what they formed. Why? Because he was able to exhibit that leadership skills unconditionally, not being allergic to the word failures. You should also develop that skill set. Come what may, I will not be a failure. Among your friends also, can you exhibit that leadership skills? Nan friend problem agide. I will stand with him unconditionally. Society ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಹಿಮ್ ಅನ್ಕಂಡೀಷನಲಿ. ಈ ಲಿಕರ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಾರ್ದಿತ್ತು, ನಮ್ಮ ITI ಪಕ್ಕನೆ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೈಟ್. Either the liquor shop is going to be there or ITI is going to be there. Let us fight till the last breath. That is for the society I take up. But always remember, when I say leadership qualities, it is not that you will have to do everything. No. You will have to just take up that first few steps, that's all. Rest, the universe is going to do it. When Gandhiji decided, I am going to chase the Britishers out of India, it was only that decision what he took up and he had to consistently hold on to that decision. Come what may, I am going to chase the Britishers away. He did not move mountains, he held on to that dream consistently for a longer time. When he held on to that dream, there was no looking back. People followed. Initially people ridiculed. Oh Gandhiji, you are going to chase the Britishers out of India? Kya bapu, aisa mazak kar rahe ho? Why are you calling it as mazak? You know the Britishers are cruel and you are going to chase them with ahimsa. Do you think it's going to be possible? He says, yes, I shall do it. And he consistently keeps working on it, not giving up on his dream. When he consistently kept working on it, there was no looking back. The entire nation is going to follow him. That is what happens. So as a society, you will have to take up that few baby steps. I think most of you would have seen this advertisement. What happens? It is raining. All of a sudden, one big branch of a tree, because of the wind, it falls down. And the entire traffic is Alt. Now everybody is looking, who is going to remove that branch? When everybody is looking, from the auto a person is looking, from the car a person is looking, from the bus a person is looking, from the two-wheeler a person is looking, and there were two boys. One of the boy, who is just a third standard student, he tells his friend, hey, bag pakado. He asks him to hold the bag. He comes there is a big branch, it is raining, he comes there to just lift that. And as he tries to come there and lift it, he just looks back, nobody is coming. But will he give up? No. But can he move? No. But what is he supposed to do it? That is his leadership quality. He needs to hold on there for a few more time, few more minutes. And when he was there for few more minutes, people will start coming. The bus driver gets down from the bus and he comes. A college girl calls her friends, they also come. And an auto driver comes. A car which has been just waiting for somebody to come and lift the person in the passenger seat, he also gets up, the driver also gets up, all of them come, they lift and they move it aside. So what happens? A leadership quality is just taking up that few baby steps, and the rest the universe is going to do it. You need not do it. So when you exhibit such leadership qualities, what else can be done? We have already explained you. When I told about assuming unconditional responsibility, accepting unconditional, you should always know how is your responsibility. So as an husband, as a father, as a mother, as an elder brother, as a sister, you have earned that position and you take the responsibility. That is beautiful. But there also, if you consistently will not take unconditional responsibility, slowly that position will be given to somebody else. It has happened. You go to some of the families, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಅವರೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ. ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪ will not take unconditional responsibility. And sometimes you also know who is having the bat in the hand, not you, your wife. ಅವನ್ನೇನು ಕೇಳ್ತೀರ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಿಸ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದು ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ಎಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ವೈ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದಟ್ ಅನ್ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಸಿ. ನಾವು ಆಚೆ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಬರ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದಿನ ಯು ಸ್ಟೇ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್ and you will feel how nice it is at office. So there it is an assumed responsibility, but when that responsibility is not executed unconditionally, slowly you will actually do not qualify there. You disqualify and somebody else gets qualified there. Everywhere the same thing happens. It was not that Saurav was not good, but once Dhoni took up the responsibility and he started executing it beautifully, slowly whenever the next decision had to be made, Saurav Ganguly को बुलाना है, नहीं ना अभी वो कैप्टन नहीं है, तो धोनी को बुलाओ. Dhoni is a captain now. So when you earn either by default or either in the case, a leader should always lead by example. So when we say lead by example, in the sense, Mahatma Gandhi led by example to fight the Britishers away. He never gave up irrespective of there was no followers initially. People ridiculed him, but he held on to it. Mother Teresa, she wanted to actually, when we say leadership skills, just speaking about how much she wanted to help the people. There may be something else people would speak about it, about missionary of charity trying to convert people into Christianity, influencing them. We will not talk from that perspective. Who is this lady? She was an ordinary teacher who came in an exchange program. She was supposed to be in India for some years and she had to go back. But when she comes here, she takes up a stand that come what may, I want to help the people in Calcutta. That is the place where she was actually living. That was the time when India had leprosy. Leprosy was to the peak. So in that problematic situation, people were dying left, right and center. That was the reason people also actually anticipated that Corona is going to be one more pandemic which is going to be much bigger than the leprosy attack which we had during those times. So what the entire world was predicting and what some of the Indians were also predicting, abhi corona aa gaya, dekho there will be deaths in every roads, there will be bodies lying in all the footpaths and there will be nobody to take care of them. Yes, people shouted like that. And here was one man who took up that leadership quality. Whatever he told, we followed. And today, if there was a patient who was actually infected by what we call it as a corona, we did not put him to the street. We put him in, we came out to the street. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮನೇಲಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕ್ವಾರಂಟೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಆಚೆ ಬಂದ್ವಿ ಹೊರತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಚೆ ದೂಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಹ್ಯುಮ್ಯಾನಿಟಿ ವಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೀಡರ್ ಮೋದಿಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟೆಡ್. He never told we will throw them away. No, no, no. We will go away. We will give all the facilities to them. There was grocery that was supplied to the home. There was food packets that was supplied to the home. There was water that was supplied to the home. There was medicine that was supplied to the home, because he actually built that leadership quality by he himself exhibiting that. That leadership quality you should also actually start doing. Narayan Murthy, the great leader who started from a 3-bedroom house, and today it has become a revolution. All of you know. And his so-called son-in-law, for the first time we will have to feel so proud that we always used to say Britishers ruled us, Britishers ruled us, Britishers ruled us. Not on a controversial side, we are ruling them, we are happy. For the first time we have become the Prime Minister of this Britain. It's a beautiful occasion. Why all that happened? Because there was this leadership qualities in us which slowly started developing, because we were in an helpless state where the Britishers started ruling us, and they started misusing our sincerity and misusing our what we call it as modesty. We had no other way. We had to fight back. When we had to fight back, lot of leaders started developing. When this lot of few leaders started developing, they revolutionized what India is today. And today India is no more the old India. India is a new India today. And a new education policy has been added, leadership qualities is being brought up, communication skills is being brought up, goals has been brought up, and public speaking skills has been brought up, because we are actually trying to develop a leadership quality. Again, yes, who is a leader? A leader is the one who can communicate freely and comfortably. A leader is the one who can always make others take action by his words what he is going to speak. So all this automatically happens. Even when I say Dhirubhai Ambani, from a 10,000 turnover to 1,000 crore, it was an humongous leadership quality. It is not something which is small. So as a parents, you take up a lot of such responsibilities. All these are done. When we say leaders, we always should lead by example. Most of the time what happens, we don't lead by example. Let me share a beautiful story to make you understand this. See, it so happened that it was one such Independence Day. I went to my friend's house. He was talking to his daughter. His daughter showed a big image of the 4 lions, the national emblem, and at the bottom something was written in Sanskrit. So she asked, Papa, what is this written? In which language is it written? As she was talking to my friend, I just entered. As soon as I entered, he knew that I am a trainer, and he also wanted to prove that he is also a good trainer. Then he took very seriously his daughter, and he started explaining, hey Baba, please come sit. And he started explaining, look my angel, it is written in Sanskrit and it reads Satyameva Jayate, ultimately truth shall win. So what does that mean, Papa? That means you should always be truthful. Never ever tell a lie, because ultimately truth only shall win. And as he was explaining, all of a sudden his mobile started ringing. And actually when his mobile started ringing, the ringtone was a dog barking. When will you keep dog barking sign of ringtone? When you know if it is your boss who is calling. I also knew it is my boss calling, and his wife also knew it is his boss calling. Daughter also knew it is his boss calling, but he's explaining to our daughter Satyameva Jayate. He never wanted to get interrupted. So what he says, he calls his wife, "Arey yaar, please come here, yaar." You pick up that phone and you tell him, "I'm in the restroom." And then the daughter says, "Papa, explain me a little bit more." He says, "Ultimately, truth only shall win, ma. So always be truthful. Never tell a lie, even if you want to, because it is not going to help you." "Okay, Papa, I should never tell a lie." "No, you should never tell a lie." Again, our mobile starts ringing. Again, Bobo is happening. He calls his wife, "You please pick up the phone and tell him I'm in the restroom." Then this daughter is saying, "Papa." He again says, again shouts at his wife, please come up, pick up this and tell him I am in the restroom. And she picks up the call and says he's in the restroom, and he keeps the phone. Daughter is in silence and she's looking at the papa like this. Then he says, what? Papa, you told Satyameva Jayate, ultimately truth is going to win. But Papa, why are you telling a lie to your boss? You need not tell a lie. So most of us are like that. Rules and regulations is for the students to follow. Rules and regulations is for the outsiders to follow. But for you, is the green green when there is traffic man? Green is green when there is traffic man, when there is no traffic man also. But is it the red when there is no traffic man? No. When there is no traffic man, red means green only. Why? You are not ready to take up that leadership skills. Irrespective of, in spite of, if nobody is watching me also, my skill sets is going to never change. I am a vegetarian when somebody watches. I am still a vegetarian when nobody watches. I am not a smoker when somebody watches. I am a smoker when somebody watches. No, that cannot happen like that. When I say I am following this leadership quality, that leadership quality has to be compulsorily with you. It cannot change. And leaders are the one who always lead by example. Always remember, leaders have to show and exhibit their skill set, because people see and they get influenced more. People do not hear and they get influenced. Let us play one simple game. All of you put both the hands up. Straight. It has to be straight. You should not bend. Okay? All of you ready? All of you are with me. You should not bend. When I say 1, 2, 3, for every multiples of 3, you will have to clap. Okay? For every multiples of 3, you will have to clap. Watch me. You should not bend your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of you are ready? Few of you will have to keep your fingers straight, and even your the thumbs also straight. We will start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What did I say? Only the multiples of 3 you will have to clap. Now again, try to do it very straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Few of you stopped clapping. Why? Because if I clap and if I am going to make a wrong attempt, so you stopped clapping. So what does it exhibit? It exhibits that people watch you and they follow more than actually hearing you and then following more. So can you actually lead by example? Alexander is still the great because he never told, oh army, go and fight. He stood in the front and he led the army. That is what we say, lead by example. You as a teacher also will have to lead by example, which is very, very important. And always remember, as a leader, you will have to represent a cause, and that cause has to be till your last breath. You should not change. So you will be remembered because of the cause. The moment I say Ahimsa, who will come into your mind? Gandhiji. Why? From day one till his last breath, he followed Ahimsa. You could have told, he killed me, kill him also. When Nathuram Godse killed him for whatever reason, you could have told in that anger, kill him back. No. But the amount of love they exhibited, it is phenomenal. That is what we say leadership skills. We may give any number of vague answers and negatives about this ma'am, but I want to tell one such incident because she was actually filled with abundance love. See, when she decided that she will have to help enough of these suffering people, free hospitals have to be built, she goes on collecting funds. How did these missionaries work? They used to go to rich streets where it is a commercial street where a lot of rich people and hotels are there, business establishments are there. On Saturday and Sunday they used to wear white clothes and they used to walk the path. It could be MG Road, commercial street, so something like this in most of the city packets. And they used to collect what is called as funds. They used to have white clothed volunteers also. They used to go when a businessman or anybody walks in, they used to go with a banner. They used to say, please help them, we want to build hospitals. People used to give them some money. One such day, it was late in the afternoon, it was around 12 p.m. One of the businessmen had a very bad business meeting. A business meeting was so bad that he was completely disturbed. He just stopped the meeting and he stood up and he rushed out because of anger. And as he came out of the business hotel, he was completely devastated. He thought, what kind of idiots I'm talking to? And as he was coming, This group of missionary volunteers, they go up to him and say, "Excuse me, sir." He is already in anger. He looks at them and they are holding a white bowl and they are asking, "Sir, please help these poor people." He shouts at them, "Idiots, give it away." And he goes. As he is rushing like this, he is looking at them back and he is again abusing them. What kind of people are you? And when he is about to turn like this, Mother Teresa was facing like this, he was facing like this, she turns like this and he turns like this. As soon as he sees Mother Teresa, and he is still again filled with anger. "You one more," he says. Mother Teresa looks at him with a smile in his face. "Please help us, we need to build hospitals for the poor." He is in that peak of anger, he doesn't know what to do, he just spits onto that bowl. He just spits onto that bowl. Without even thinking for a second, she picks up an handkerchief, she cleans it, folds it, puts it back and says, "I will have this, I don't mind. Will you please help the poor?" That man was devastated. Andit Takshna, he did not have words. He started actually crying very badly. He did not know, because he had never experienced somebody expressing hatred, so much of hatred into love within no span of time. And that man becomes one of the greatest pillar for missionaries of charity to spread across the world, because that was the influence of this Mother Teresa. So when we say leader, they always stood for one cause and they were a symbol of that cause. When we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, he stood for freedom. Ahimsa, non-violence, was a symbol. Mother Teresa, she stood for dying people, poor. Love and compassion was a symbol. Jesus Christ, he stood for love of God and forgiveness. For Jesus, it was easy. When somebody was actually, he could have told, "Oh God, take me. Oh God, punish all of them." It was easy for him to say that. He was ready to even forgive them. He prays for God and says, "Oh God, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. Forgive them." That is what he says. And Buddha, he was a mid-path, he was actually for compassion. Sachin Tendulkar, cricket, and he was God bad man. So like that, as a leader, can you actually represent that cause? If you can represent that cause, beautiful things can open. All great leaders always stood for something. I want to be a leader, I should be clear, then I have to stand for something. You should stand for something. When somebody looks at you, you should stand for something. That is called as a leadership skills. Rajni sir, he stood for what is called as a style. You should stand for something. So when you stand for something, you automatically actually qualify to become a leader. When you stand for something, I will live my life out of conviction. If I don't stand for anything, I will live my life out of convenience. Most of us are actually living a convenience life. Every day 4 o'clock, irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, I get up out of the bed. It is not convenience, it is conviction. I have decided from today I am going to jog 3 kilometers. It is a decision what I have taken. Is it convenience? No, it is actually not convenience. But I have taken a conviction, whatever happens, every day I am going to walk for 3 kilometers. Every day I will not eat junk. Every day, come what may, I will be on time to the school. Every day, whatever happens, I will be prepared before every class. So this is living a life out of conviction. What is that? Living a life out of convenience. Animals also live. Animals also eat. Animals also excrete. Animals also reproduce. Then we are also eating, we will also excrete, we will also reproduce. What is the difference between animals and us? One of the greatest quality what we should have is this leadership skills, and we should live life out of conviction. We should never live life out of convenience. So convenience is easy for people to do it. I don't want to get up early in the morning, sleeping is very comfortable. That is convenience. I don't want to prepare for the class. Whatever I know, I will come and take. That is convenience. Ask yourself, are you living a life out of convenience, or are you living a life out of conviction? My saying should be, you should live a life out of conviction. And when I say who is a leader is the one who doesn't give any options. So we say leaders burn the bridges. Burn the bridges and most of the time what happens, we are looking for a second down line. I'll give you one simple example. We will take Mother Teresa only. Mother Teresa was working as a teacher, but she decides, come what may, I want to help the poor. She goes up to her principal and she says, Sir, here is my resignation letter. I've decided I want to quit the job. I want to start free hospitals for all the suffering people of Calcutta. The principal looks at her from top to bottom and says, please excuse me, I'm asking you this question. Do you have a second you should have second. Do you have a third pair of cloth? No, sir. I know you only have a 2 pair of cloth. Because everything that is given to you, you always give it to the poor. Allama, not even having third pair of cloth, do you think you can start free hospitals? Is it going to be easy for you? To start a clinic, a lot of money is required. From where will you get this money? Do you think it is going to be possible? You do like this. I will do something. I will hold on to this resignation letter. I'll put it into my drawer. You try. I'm not going to say don't try. But if you fail, you can always come back. Immediately she says, excuse me, sir. Yes. She picks up a 1 rupee coin and she shows it to him and she says, sir, with this and E on my side, that means God on my side, everything will be possible. If I say to hold on to that resignation, I am giving one option of falling back. I don't want to give an option of falling back. When Gandhiji decided ahimsa is not going to work, Gandhiji did not turn and say, no, we will do like this, we will continue with ahimsa. No. When you keep changing for others' will, that means you don't have a goal of your own. That is our next topic, goal setting. A great leader is the one who has single-minded devotion towards the goal, and his goal is not going to change for anybody. Most of us, what we do, we keep changing goal on a daily basis. Sometimes in a day you would have changed goal thrice. That should not happen. That means you are living a life out of convenience. Whatever is convenient, you will fix up that as a goal. Conviction is, come what may, I will go to the temple, whatever it is. The queue is 100, still I will go. The queue is 1000, still I will go. The queue is 10,000, still I will go. That means your goal was already fixed and it did not change depending on the convenience, because it was out of conviction. So are you taking up this responsibility of living a life out of conviction? That is what we say. Tendulkar had many failures. It was not that Tendulkar did not have failures. But every time he had failures, Tendulkar did not give up. Every time the ball came, sometimes it hit his gloves, it was a catch. Sometimes even before he could see a ball has come, it has already hit the wicket and he is out. Sometimes the ball has come, hit him so hard, he has become unconscious, he doesn't know what to do. All these were there. But did he give an option? No option. But what he told, I'm going to stand there irrespective of whatever the ball is going to come. That means a leader is the one who gives no option. You should also not give any option. When you give an option, you will change yourself to convenience. There are two kinds of wombs. We call it as a willingness womb and non-willingness womb. When we say a leadership quality, that means you should live life out of conviction. That is with a willingness womb. Womb means it is like a mother's pouch where the baby is born. I am talking about that willingness. I want to go to the hospital today. Nothing is going to stop you. You will definitely go. I want to go to class today. It is raining. You will use rain as an excuse. Excuse is again a truth in a wrong place. That means raining is true, but it is raining, but there are a lot of people, even in the rain, they have come to the class. But there are few, because of the rain, they are taking excuse. That means it is a non-willingness that is actually searching for excuses. If you are willing, you will look for solution. I still have to go to the class. I'll use an umbrella. I still have to go to the class. I'll use a cover. I don't have an umbrella. I'll use a cover. It's still raining. There is no cover. I don't mind getting wet. I will still go to the hospital. So that is living life out of options. So here a leader is the one who doesn't use ordinary words. Oh, try, let me give a shot. These are the words of a zero. Zero means it has to be I shall do it. See, have you ever told when a guy is going to see a girl and then he likes the girl and he says nangu okay agide, the hudugun kadeyavar also will say nangu okay agide, and immediately the father-in-law will ask, how do you think you are going to take care of my wife? Sorry, take care of my daughter who is going to be your future wife. Then he says, I hope I will take care of her. Those words will actually disqualify you from that alignment only. No, I will try. let me give a shot. I don't know whether I'm going to take care of her perfectly or not. Let me give a shot. Then the father-in-law will say, turn back, sit, and he will kick his ass and he will say, get lost. You cannot say that. There you are actually with conviction. Come what may. Nan kannin reppe tara nodkontini, you will say. And afterwards you realize the remote is also not under your control. It is under your wife's control. That is what leadership quality is all about. My teacher says, if I am tough on myself, life will be infinitely easy on me. And if I am easy on myself, life will be infinitely tough on me. See, God plays a very beautiful trick. What is that trick? Namge enen initial agi pleasurable experience irutto, all that initial pleasure will lead to permanent pain. Namge eneno initially painful experience irutto, that will lead to permanent pleasure. Most of us will not realize this. We become fools. Every day getting up early in the morning, is it painful? It is pleasure? It is definitely painful. But getting up and walking every day, getting up and reading something for a promotional exam, getting up and exercising for the body, getting up and doing yoga, all these are painful experience. But I volunteer this painful experience because I know this initial pain will give me permanent pleasure then. What is that? My body is very healthy, I am very healthy, it is beautiful. But on the other side, getting up is going to be a non-pleasurable job. So what I will do? I will sleep because it is pleasure. Eating fruits and vegetables is a painful experience, so I will start eating junk. Actually, attending meetings, attending class or taking class consistently is a painful experience. I'll avoid all of this as much as possible. But if you consistently keep on doing this, what will happen? You will start going out of your track, and one day you will realize you're no more in the job as you used to be earlier because you volunteered initial pleasures. So God is playing this beautiful say, if I am tough on myself, nanu nanmele tough agidre matra, life will be infinitely easy on me. Tough andaga, I should start volunteering pain. Iga nanu prati satino, if I am not tough, I will be easy by giving pleasurable things. I will indefinitely have pain. That is what is you will be experiencing. So a leader is the one who doesn't give any options. If you have one activity you should never give us a second option. So we always say burning the bridges and one concept na use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Why we talk about this second option, burning the bridges andaga. See, whenever there is a war between two kingdoms, assuming this is a strong kingdom and this is average kingdom, that means in terms of strength. If this is going to fight them, if these people have come, all of a sudden they are surprised to see that this enemy has more number of army men than them. Now they have an option. Option 1, they can always run back. Option 2, they will have to stand there and chase them. So what they do, they burn the bridges, what they say. What is the burning the bridges andaga? If I am passing this path and if I am coming to attack them, I will burn these bridges so that we should not even think of actually returning back. So that is called as burning the bridge. When you take up a decision, I am going to do this, you should burn the bridges so that there should not be a second option at all. If I say you hold on to the resignation letter principle, sir, I will try, if it does not work, I will come back and continue. No. Mahatma Gandhi did not say, I will try in India if Ahimsa is going to work to chase the Britishers away. If it does not work, I will come back to South Africa and I will continue as a lawyer. He gave up everything and he told, I am going to fight against the Britishers. So sometimes what army men do also, when they are in such a situation, because their mind is not under their control, when it is the more riskiest situation. Right now the mind is under their control. So what they do, they tie up their legs like this. In Gitkondo, when they tie up their legs, it will not allow them to fall back and run back. And then they will sit like this. Why? They have already made up their mind, either Veera Marana or Vijaya. That's all, only two options. Either there is a victory awaiting me or there is a victory's death awaiting me there. That's all, only two options. That is what we say, you should be ready to burn your bridges. And next, leaders give no option and they will have to consistently work. And when we say you should not give any options, Most of the time what happens, if I want a fit body, every day you will have to exercise. You should seriously exercise without giving any second option at all. This has to be religiously practiced. Steady habits, diet control, food habits, you will have to stick on to it. You should not change. Okay, no, I will definitely try to actually be slim. So what I will do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I will not eat any oily products. But rest of the day, if you are going to eat, will it work? No, it is not going to work. So sometimes what happens, you will have to scold your brain, because brain is chanchala. It is not under your control. It actually goes back. I'll give you a simple story to understand. Scold yourself and scold your brain before it gets deviated. All of you will have this experience. I also have this experience. I have my younger son who is little naughty. His name is Ritik. Every time for him to actually do anything, it has to be we who will have to tell him multiple times. Getting him do the homework has always been a painful experience. It is not that he is not bright. He is very intelligent. He always stands first. But he doesn't do anything on his own. He always needs to be told multiple times, only then he will do the work. It was one such time when he was in 3rd standard. That day we decided we will not tell him anything. He came from the school. We had to tell him multiple times, do the homework and then go to play. We did not tell. He went to play. He played and he came back. He forgot about the homework. He slept. He got up early in the morning. He studied. He completely forgot about the homework. He went to school. We knew he would have got nicely from the school, and he will get it nicely, and he will come and give us also nicely. So both of us were waiting. He came. His face had become very serious. There was a charm in his face. As soon as he came, he looked at us and he did not tell anything. He straight away went, he sat on the desk and he started writing the homework. We were confused, what is happening? How is that he has volunteered to write the homework on his own? Then immediately we waited for him. I thought after 2-3 minutes he will give up. He did not give up. Homework was 2 days. He did not have playtime. We thought definitely he will go to playtime. He did not go to playtime. He completed all the homework. We were totally confused. We did not know what has happened. But we wanted an answer to this. How is this transformation? We went up to him and we told Ritik, yes dad, we thought you are going to scold us because we did not remind you about the homework. I really wanted to scold you, Papa. But then I realized, how long are you going to say? You did not say nothing happened to you. But I did not write the homework. For the first time, the teacher looked at me. She was about to scold. She stopped because I have always written the homework. Thinking of that, if she would have scolded, what would have happened to me? Right now, I am feeling so guilty. Actually, when I came back from school, right now also my mind was telling, go on play, go on play, go on play. I scolded my brain. I hit him hard and I told, do the homework. Otherwise, you will have to listen to your teacher. You may listen, but I am not ready to listen. Do the homework. So I am doing the homework. Most of the time in life, this happens. Sometimes you are out of the box. You are actually depressed. You feel like doing wrong things. Natural. We are also upukara tinnanta deha. So we try to do wrong things. Okay, overeating, wrong things. Overeating the sweets, wrong things. Consistently sleeping for long hours, wrong things. Not getting prepared for the class, wrong things. Some new upgradation should have been done. We stopped doing it, and slowly the teacher says something has happened here and there. Small pimples are there in your this one. Go to the hospital immediately. No, you give up. No. Afterwards, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So this what happens? This will lead to permanent danger. So what we will have to do, come what may, the leaders will have to think that we have no option. The only option is we will have to work. This is a statement which I wanted to share. Doors of temporary pleasure will always lead to permanent pain, and doors of temporary pain always leads to permanent pleasure. Slap yourself before the life slaps you. And as a leader, you should do that. One day I see in the mirror, I won't be, the mirror is going to tell me, hey, I cannot show you. Why? Because you have grown up big. Has it ever happened that one day you stand in front of the mirror and you are looking like a batura? No. Go back to your old photographs. Before marriage, you were looking like a chapati. You consistently kept on eating and not doing any exercises consistently, and slowly you one day stand in front of the mirror and the mirror says, hey, what has happened to you? You were like a chapati, now you are looking like a puri. At least now change yourself. You look at the mirror and you are looking like a puri, and you don't give up the habits. Every time you stand in front of the mirror, you say, no, I want to give up. But every time you are free in front of the food, you will forget everything and the food is only yours. And one day the mirror is going to say, I cannot show you, bring one more mirror. Why? Because you have become a batura. Has it ever happened, one day you open your eyes, you would have become a batura? No, it is a process. Why? You were always actually door of temporary pleasure. Door of temporary pleasure always leads to permanent pain. What you did, you kept on taking that pleasure, eating, not exercising. That led to permanent pain and doors of temporary pain. Everyday exercising, everyday eating right kind of foods, eating limited kind of foods, not having dinner, actually sometimes going for fasting. When I kept on doing that, that will always lead to what is called as permanent pleasure. Most of us know this, but do you follow it? No. We tell our students to follow, but do you? No. So it is, leadership is self-development and with the development of the others. Most of us are used to give excuses. It is not that you don't want to, but for everything you will have an excuse. My kids are more important, they are more important. So whenever it comes to a greatest leadership skills, leaders are the one who will not give excuse. Because when you give excuse, it is a non-willingness to do. When you have a willingness to do, you will look for solutions. When you don't have a willingness to do, you will actually look for excuses. What is excuses? We consider excuses as one of the biggest diseases. It is much more dangerous than HIV and hepatitis. Why we say even cancer? Because this excuse and blame game is going to trouble you and put you into a shield. You will never be able to come out of it. When it comes to exercising yourself, when it comes to upgrading yourself, when it comes to improving on a new skills, when it comes to learning on a computer skills, when it comes to doing lot of such additional activities, you always will have an excuse. But all great leaders, when I say one of the leadership qualities, they never gave excuses. See, the consistency was so strong in Sachin. Just to put it across, we may actually think, what is this Sachin? He was a born cricketer. No, he was never a born cricketer. But the way he played, nothing came between him and the cricket. Even at the age of 8 years, 9 years or 10 years, early in the morning he used to get up at 4 o'clock, wear his uniform. On top of the uniform, he used to wear the tracks, used to pick up the bag for the school along with the lunch carrier, and then he used to go to the field. And he used to practice from 5 o'clock to 6:30 and then catch up one more train, go to the school and complete the school, and then again catch up one more train, come back to the playground, again play with the tracks, and after he has completed till it is pitch dark, he is not able to see the ball, he used to consistently play and again go back home. And again next day the same routine. Is the routine going to change on Saturday? No, there was no Saturday for him. He thought Saturday is the time when I get most of the time to practice. He used to practice from afternoon to evening because it was half a day in school. What about Sundays? Sundays he used to practice the whole day because he had nothing else to do. He only had one goal in his mind, that he had to practice. He did not give any excuse. People told it is New Year Day. For him there was no New Year Day. It is again cricket. There was Deepavali for most of them. For him there was no Deepavali. It was only cricket. And every such festivals, he did not actually focus on that. His only focus was cricket. That was the reason by the age of 14 or 15, you could see there were many records that were broken by this great leader, Tendulkar. Why? Because they never gave excuse. They always did irrespective of, in spite of. Now you should also today take a call. Come what may, I will do irrespective of, in spite of. What is this excuse? Excuses are a shield to save you, but it is a bad thing that it is a self-destructing weapon and a slow poison. Most of the times what you do, in excuses it is trying to push and say, I really don't say I don't want to do the dieting, I really want to do the dieting. But instead of today, I will start from tomorrow. And tomorrow when you go home, one of your uncle has come, so your wife has prepared all the beautiful dishes, and at least then you can start doing dieting. You again tell, no, I'll do like this. Instead of today dieting, we will do next month, first onwards, I'll start dieting. And next month first will come. And then you will say, next month first is not working. We will do like this. From January 1st onwards, I will seriously start dieting, seriously start doing yoga, seriously start exercising. Again, January 1st will come. You again postpone. Why? Everywhere you are looking for an excuse. Today the dish is made. I will not use for an excuse. Even when the dish is made, I'll tell my friend who has come to join me, I'm under dieting, please have, I don't want to have. I'm not looking for an excuse. So if you can live life like that, you will be called as a leader. Most of us give excuse for various reasons. A leader is the one who follows a passion for excellence. What is a passion for excellence is, you should know about the story. After I complete the story also, if you have time, go through Google and then find out who is this Michelle Stone. I think we will try to wind up, it's already 11:50. See, Michelle Stone, here is one such incident, so that when you remember the incident, your mind will tell, if he can do it, I shall also do it. It was one such Olympic platform where he needs to jump around 17 feet. 17 feet jump, it is a pole vault jumping. Okay, somebody will have to hold the pole like this, run, put it in one place, jump and then fall back. He has already completed 16 feet record. Now he goes for 16 feet 3 inches. When he is making an attempt, there are 20,000 people in this big stadium. Everybody is standing and they are looking at him. Nobody is sitting. The moment they say Michelle Stone is taking a plunge, an announcement comes, everybody is watching him. Michelle Stone loses his hands and legs and he goes, he holds that pole hold, somebody gives it to him, he just makes himself ready, and as soon as he starts, the entire audience, they stand up. They stand up and they look at the entire incident. He's going, he puts the pole, everybody's heart is starting to beat a little more faster. He puts it, he jumps, and when he falls, habba, everybody says, and they give him a big round of applause. It was 16 feet 3. They get 3 attempts. Next he puts 16 feet 5. He comes to 16 feet 5. Again he is getting ready. The entire auditorium, means the entire stadium, all the watchers, they stand up and he's getting ready. He's coming forward. He puts and he jumps. As soon as he jumps, everybody's heart is about to break. And then they look, habba, he falls down. Everybody's giving him a big round of applause. And he has to do a record now. Now it is put to 16 feet 17 inches. Now everybody's heart is beating, lap down. He again relaxes himself, he does single hand push-ups, he holds the vault and he goes. As he's running, everybody's heart is watching that. He goes, he puts his hand and he jumps. As soon as he jumps and he falls down, the entire stadium is actually applauding him with so much of noise that it was an unforgettable moment. They did not actually show so much of excitement, not because he broke his record, he was always been breaking the record. It was only for a simple reason, Michelle Stone was blind. Michelle Stone was blind. ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂದರೆ you will not be able to do it. As a boy, he becomes blind. He was always doing this. After he becomes blind, there were so many excuses for him to say, I don't want to practice this. But this man decides, come what may, it is going to be, I am going to die as a pole vault jumper and I am going to break the record as a pole vault jumper. Every time he comes here, this position has to be right. If he does not put it in the right position, most of the people with eyes also, they do mistakes and they fall wherever they want. And this man, to actually take that plunge and fall and actually create that mystery, it's not going to be easy. That was only possible because he had a passion for excellence. when you have that passion for excellence, it actually works wonders. Now we will take a break, and next class we will continue with this and immediately go to goal settings. Thank you, love you all so much. We'll see you.